Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. I am your GM for the day, the Bardic Knock. You can find me on the internet, Twitter, Twitch, Patreon, and YouTube, all as the Bardic Knock. We're hopping in for session 40. That 40 is like a lot of numbers.
That's a big number.
That is
too big.
It is many numbers. So session 40 of After the Azure Calm. I will attempt to give vague recap, although we just finished a story arc, so really there's nothing super important to carry over aside from what are we doing
Isn't
next.
this where we input a filler?
Technically, yes. This would be where a small filler couple episodes. Alright, Rin. Rainbow Mist. Let's go. Everyone's favorite fucking filler. Yeah.
The slow man.
Cause
people to be slow.
The Rainbow Mist filler is what made me stop watching One Piece the first time round.
Oh, God.
Like, I can't. No. Alright. Before too many distractions, because there's shiny things everywhere. Players do not have cameras on stage because nobody particularly feels like it, and that's cool. You know, so with 40 sessions in, you should be fairly accustomed to the voices, hopefully. And if this is not your first one, I highly recommend going and checking out a different one where faces exist if you want to better associate. And then, you know, maybe watch the other 38 and give me views, because I would like that. And hey, do you have anything to do for the next what's 40 times, like, on average 3 hours? That's what, 120 hours? So, yeah, if you got nothing to do for 5 days straight.
I mean, Christmas is coming up. That's the time when depression spikes the most. So satiate your depression with our terrible One Piece game.
You
I
have
can never be a therapist. Never. Ever.
people complain about, like, binge watching series. You know, you get through it too quick because you sit down and, you know, there are only 24 episodes and you've got through an entire, like, we have literally 5 full days, closer to 6 full days, no breaks, no ads, 24/7. Can you stay awake that long?
Technically 39, because that one episode doesn't exist.
Yes, it doesn't
That's
exist
true.
technically, but
But with 40 episodes, we have at 3 hours apiece. That is exactly 5 days. I
I did say it's 3 hours on average. It'll be up and down, left and right on that, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but on average, if like that's 120. 120 divided by 24 is 5 directly.
5 full days. Enjoy.
There you go.
Crack on. Who needs sleep? I mean, to be honest, if you slept, you'd literally only miss maybe... Okay, normal people
You'd miss
sleep...
2.5.
Yeah, if you sleep a
2.5
normal
episodes.
amount, you'd miss 2.5 episodes, which is fine. Because, you know, in 2.5 episodes, sometimes we, you know, walk down a hallway.
That's true! Oh, God. Literally, we had one episode on the crab where we walked down a hallway, and that was it because we were so sidetracked.
Hey, we had fun, though. And speaking of getting sidetracked, this is officially the most distracted we have ever gotten during an introduction section. Nick, who are you?
Oh, right. Hi, I'm me. I'm Nick. I'm Strider Winters on the internet via user. I play as Mercurius Thorak, who is the captain fishman. Who, because I don't have my camera on, you can actually see my icon, which is Merc. He's a 6-armed giant squid man, and he's both the doctor and the captain of the ship, and it's wonderful. And last episode, he vaccinated everybody from his disease.
Yeah. Vaccines are important. You should...
Including our commanding officer.
Yeah.
The Admiral's White Lion.
Yeah, that guy. Anything else?
Okay.
I don't think there's anything else. I don't know.
No, but I did it without Zor's permission, technically, because Zor wasn't here last episode. So...
Just snuck into his room and stabbed him.
Stab him with a second vaccine.
Alright, Dakota, who are you?
Who are you?
Cool! Moving on!
Dakota is that. Just one side. Wah.
There you go.
That
I
is
accept it.
Dakota. Okay.
I'm playing Zor.
Riveting.
About it.
We're missing
Yeah.
Shogun.
Yep, missing the Shoguns. So, James, who be you?
I am playing Jimmy. I made a zombie which needs a hand, which no one is giving up. Captain has fucking 6 of them, greedy.
I thought he only has 5.
Do you have 5? You missing a hand? If I find it, is it Finders Keepers?
Talking to me? No, I
Yes.
have all 6 fucking hands.
Damn.
I'm actually I'm missing 2 hands technically because they were torn off when I was a child.
I need to find those. Anyways.
Like 20 some odd years ago, douche.
Imagine he finds them and they're in like perfect condition. He goes, "Great, they're going to my zombie."
I am a stable individual, which no one understands me,
That's not
so
true.
that's fine. And
not stable.
We're not stable.
if you are watching this as your first episode, don't make me bitch at you again, or possibly for the first time if this is your first episode. Watch the whole fucking series!
Start with episode 15, where Jimmy goes on the first rant about this.
I love how you keep that written down now.
It's just in my brain.
Alright. Anything else, James?
No,
Julio.
that's it.
Rin. Wrap us up.
Hello. I am Rin. That is all you need to know.
I mean, are you going to tell us who you're playing, or any of
I mean, they know who I'm playing.
I mean, it does technically say it on the screen. It does say data, but...
Yeah, it's right there.
But do they know who Data is?
Well,
I
clearly,
mean,
you're playing...
If I say I'm playing Data, will they understand what that means?
Well,
Watch
you'd
the
say...
previous fucking episodes!
Watch the episodes.
Yeah.
Go learn who Data actually is.
He's,
Watch last episode and learn what Jimmy is short for.
So
Because I'll
clearly,
tell you, it's not James.
Rin, you are playing the android from Next Gen, right?
Star Trek Next Generation.
Clearly,
Data.
obviously.
Yep.
The next fellow, a
There
day
we
in the
go.
life of Data.
Yeah, next filler. We're gonna go on the holodeck.
Oh, God.
You're gonna do your Sherlock Holmes stuff. It's gonna be weird and a little bit jarring.
Oh, you're also going to go on the holodeck and do a new version of Murder on the Orient Express.
Okay. So, with that, let's dust off hands. That might be the worst intro we have ever done.
No, it's not. I remember the worst intro we've ever done.
Why? What happened?
It was horrible. I
Wasn't that
think
Canine Conniptions?
It
When
was-
I had just
no.
gotten Mala?
it was not that one. There was a one after that was tragic. I think it was like episode 13 or 14. It was somewhere around there. And it was bad.
What happened?
I don't remember.
I
But
remember our worst one, I don't remember.
But I don't remember exactly what happened, but I do remember literally everyone was just like, this was horrible and we're never going to speak of this again.
Yeah. Okay. So, hey,
You may
know
have
what?
edited it out. You may not have uploaded it at all.
I very well may have not. But if I did, hey, you've got 40 episodes. That's 5 whole days. Just stay awake for 5 whole days, watching nothing but this, and see if you can find it. And then, try and sue me for emotional damages.
That's almost 3/4 worth of Hanukkah. With sleep involved, that means you can watch you can spend your entire Hanukkah watching our campaign.
Garbage.
Oh my gosh. Okay. One Piece. After this, your call. That's what this is. Briefest of brief recaps. We defeated the first warlord, being the Death Defiler Novichok. The very creepy, essentially half-dead puppeteer of a giant mechanical crab. Upon his defeat, contacted our commanding officer, being Admiral Chioreon, who, is the wielder of the Cloud Fruit, who just casually strolled on over from wherever the hell he was.
It was a 7-Eleven where he was.
Yeah, he's like, yep, just here.
Because he showed up with like a coffee, jerky, and a.
I got Sea King jerky.
Yeah.
Needs to dry.
That is true.
He had to make the jerky himself because the one he bought got eaten.
Yeah.
So, he just had a casual stroll
Is fish jerky
over.
a thing?
Hmm?
Is fish jerky like actually a thing?
Oh
I would
yeah.
assume so, yeah.
Oh yeah. Any meat can become jerky. In fact, like, we have squid jerky here a bit, and like.
But a squid isn't a. Is a squid a fish? Does that count as a fish?
Technically it's a cephalopod, but it falls under the essential category of fish. When you eat squid, it falls under seafood, which is generally considered fish. They aren't fish,
So
but...
it is not a fish. Technically, it is a mollusk.
That's weird.
But I mean, in general, mollusks are seafood, and thus would fall under fish in my book.
So does escargot count as fucking seafood?
Well, escargot.
Snails are mollusks.
It depends on if it's a sea snail.
A mollusk is defined as having 1 foot.
I don't think seafood is the determinator of if it's a fish.
Snails are not mollusks. They are gastropods.
I hate everything that's going on right now. I hate learning. This is unfun for me. Because I was adamantly taught that snails and slugs are fucking mollusks.
By what?
Who told you that?
SpongeBob?
No, by a science teacher. Yes, maybe
Oh.
20 years ago. So...
Oh, well, 20 years ago we thought Pluto was a planet, so clearly we didn't have our shit together.
Okay. Actually, I was sort of mistaken. Both of the things are both of the things.
Oh, I hate this even more.
Squids and snails are, squids being cephalopod, snails being gastropods, are both part of the mollusca phylum, meaning that they are all mollusks.
That makes sense to me.
But they are gastropods and cephalopods, respectively.
I suppose it's like mammals and primates, maybe? So all primates are mammals, but not all mammals are primates?
Yeah, because King Philip came over from Germany swimming. Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species.
Return to monkey.
Yeah,
I hate
primate
every
is
second
like
of
middle
this.
there, and like mammal is much higher. We went over this a bit ago because Rin, you were making the fucking food thing for this.
Yes.
Alright.
Well, not making, completing.
So,
It's complete.
Nick,
I
I'm going to
finished.
point out, you're normally the one who very justifiably gets pissy when we aren't playing the fucking game. This is on you.
I told you I wasn't feeling well today.
No, it's
Okay.
absolutely fine. We're having a good time. It's all fun. And,
Look, you should be glad, Bardic, because remember that today is your day. You're the one who actually has to be a storyteller for at least an hour.
this is very true, and I'm not particularly good at it. I'm much better at just facilitating letting people do stupid shit.
You make a map, and then people go to places on map, and then you're like, okay, this happens.
See, my form of DMing as a general plan is I might have like an antagonist or some characters, and maybe like an event, but that's about it. Storytelling per se is not my skill set. I'm much better at telling characters, like creating people.
I don't know why, but I can see Bardic going like, I've planned almost everything from a dice roll. I'm like, alright, you go here, 17. I skipped 17. I have 18, 19, and also 16. Nothing for 17.
No, I just wrote
Why?
16 down twice. Oh, yeah. Okay, so going back. See, I could actually edit all this out if I wanted to, and we could make these look really streamlined, efficient, like perfectly like succinct little things.
But then people
But-
would never learn that snails are both gastropods and mollusks.
We're
I was
not
going
a
to say,
learning
we'd also
podcast,
only
Nick.
have 30-minute long sessions.
Yeah, our 5 days worth would go down to 1 day.
It'd go down to an extended copy of Fellowship of the Ring.
Yep.
Mommy, I learned this today. Where'd you learn that? I do not wish for you to be disappointed in me, mother. I do not wish to tell you where I learned this fact from.
Okay, breathing out, exhaling. Where I was in my description of what happened was describing, I believe, we beat up the Puppet Man.
Yes.
Yes, defeated
We
him.
killed the puppet.
Well, no, no. He got taken off to jail. So Wild Boss showed up, essentially put on sunglasses and like lit up a blunt. Went nice, and grabbed all the enemies and walked off because he's just that kind of guy. He just casually strolls in, goes nice, and walks out again. But now with a bunch of people in a cage made out of clouds. So that happened. You are now just kind of sat on your boat. You have not a like actual plan of action, but you kind of know. I suppose you maybe have like a vague plan on whoever we come across next. This is our plan for how we will deal with them. So for Warlord A, the plan is this. Warlord B, the plan is that, etc. Not really, but kind of. That, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now, let me crack open this map, because this map is purposefully ambiguous. One, to create an air of mystery and confusion about the mystical Grand Line. Secondly, I didn't want to draw a bunch of islands and come up with names,
Fair.
because it's a whole lot. So, let me just...
You're gonna delete the fog somehow.
Well, really, I just have to make a new map with less fog on and more islands exposed, so I should... Someone remind me to do that. Because I will say, I will do that, and then I won't. So, someone needs to remind me, like, every 3 days, maybe.
Oh, you mean how Rin was supposed to contact me sometime this week whenever he was free?
Oh yeah. So the thing about that is, I wasn't.
You were never free?
I was not.
Wow.
I have been spending 100% of my time redoing this, my experts in elbow grease. And if you look at it,
Oh my god.
pull it up really quick. I'm almost
Okay.
done. I literally only have one class left to finish. It looks so much fucking better.
Oh! You changed the font. It's small. But you added like legit tables. They're like straight out of 3.5.
Okay. So, obviously we need to sit around and wait for the log post to start pointing us in a direction. Whilst we're doing that, as we're, just sitting back, all that good stuff, is there any form of interaction or, character stuff? Like, because, Jimothy just went, yo, by the way, check out my zombie. Are we doing anything with that?
That's right. God damn
Yeah,
it.
Jimothy has a zombie now.
No, why
I
is
go
this a
by
thing?
Jimmy for a reason.
They were supposed to watch last episode to figure out his name, damn it.
I forgot that was a thing that happened.
Why do you think I was bothering Nick about hands?
So,
No, you can't have my hands.
You're not even using the two that got chopped off.
Well, duh. They're in Fishman Island, probably part of the ground.
I'll find them one day. If there's a time skip, I'll come back with them.
What are you saying? We just end up having a tie skip at some point, almost come out as badasses.
You're
When
insane.
does that happen in anime? All of them. Basically all of them.
We gotta go at least 3 islands into the Grand Line first.
Yeah, so to pick up directly where we ended, Jimmy basically went, yo, here's my zombie. It's that guy we killed as we came into the Grand Line. Hot Jock. He's dead now, and also, he's my zombie. He doesn't have a hand. And we kind of just left it at that. There was like a lot.
I want to be very clear. He did have a hand. Then I showed his cool acid spray technique, and then it rotted off his hand.
Now, on one hand, I kind of liked the idea of, Jimmy doing that, opening his door, revealing the zombie, and then Merc just closing the door and walking away, going, nope. But on the other, I feel there would be questions and maybe some rules or something.
Maybe some morality?
Ren gave me a book for that. Data did.
I did do that.
Morality for morons, wasn't it?
It was morality for dummies.
It was for dummies. For morons sounds better, and also for dummies is like a copyrighted.
Oh, well then it's
Book.
for morons.
Data, I don't understand. I've done most of the things in this book that says not to do. Yeah, fix that.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, are there any immediate reactions or any additional play to explore from Jimmy revealing the zombie, or is it very much like, okay, not my problem?
Everyone just basically did that. I have a feeling Mark is gonna come up with rules later, but right now he's just too shocked and disappointed to.
I might just slap you with all 6 hands.
The 6-hand slap.
So, in my brain, I just imagined that, if this is like a filler episode or a downtime episode, that Merc has Fishman Karate special techniques 6-handed slap, and literally all 6 hands line up in a line, in a column. So 3 of them have a backhand, 3 have a forehand, and they all slap at once. So it's like,
I imagine it more like it's a rapid fire,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
both like that? Okay, so does anybody have anything they want to do with that, or are we just going, okay, we need to figure out what we're doing? Someone find a log pose. Someone get us moving, because we're just sat in the middle of an ocean going, what the fuck?
Oh, where does the log pose go? Point to.
Very good question. Currently, who's been in charge of a log pose up until now?
Wave.
I mean,
'Cause he's our
you had a log pose
navigator.
before you had Wave. So, who's been in charge of that?
It's Frankie, I thought.
It was Frankie.
Well,
It
let's go find
was.
Frankie and
Because
see what-
Frankie was at the helm, so of course he was the one in charge of it. But now that we have Wave, Frankie can focus on working on the ship while Wave is steering the ship.
Cool. So if you go and find Frankie, who, Frankie and Wave, they're getting properly acquainted, sorting out different duties and all that. Wave is being handed a marine cap.
I'm just gonna say this now. From everything Wave has been through, when he sees Frankie, his first thoughts are, "Why is this guy in charge of the ship? How has this ship even been maintained?"
And Frankie's like, oh. Honestly, just kind of try. Do. Points at Data. This dumbass nearly dropped half a mountain on us.
Whoa, that wasn't me.
That was Iris.
That was also not Iris.
Oh, not, yeah, sorry. It's because I know Rin did it in my brain, so I forget you switch characters.
Wait, no, Iris didn't do that either.
That
Wait.
was Iris that caused that.
The giant mountain to fall? What are you
Yeah,
talking
when
about?
we first got to Pyrite, the fucking mountain fell on
Oh,
us.
yeah. Okay.
Cause it started, it was a combination effort between yours and Shogun's because Shogun fucking cannonball dummy at the damn wall, which made it like quake happen, and then you
Dummy got
heightened the
cannonballed,
quake.
and I think I launched at it too to bust the rock, and it
Right.
didn't work.
But that was later after it was already falling. You were trying to make it shatter so as it didn't smash into the freaking ship.
You've done some
got
very
most
silly
of it, but-
things.
Right.
I don't fully remember.
Okay.
I don't know why it happened. Is my question.
Because
But
then you got
we'll never
presented with
fucking
a
remember.
wall, and instead of going, maybe we should like walk around, you went, let's go through it. It was very that. It's, it's like there is a clear and obvious obstacle for you to work around. You go, what if we just went over it? Let's just dig through the mountain instead of like cutting around it. Like, I'm sure it's quicker.
Yeah. No. Where are we going instead of getting off topic and quote unquote remembering old shit?
Yeah. So
Bardic, stop.
This is our flashback episode as we travel. We're reminiscing on old shit.
you know what?
This is the filler.
That is a thing that happens in filler.
Oh.
So yeah, everyone remembers that and go, oh, that wasn't Data. That was a different person. Good times. They weren't, but good times.
What?
They were the best of times.
Yeah.
They were the worst. of
I
times.
guess Data would ask
just-
the captain, like, what did you do while I was gone?
Zor's just off on his own trading, and he's just having the flashback of when they dealt with the Sonic Wave dude and the fucking ass kicking he received. Just being like, no. He's having his Zoro moment. Like, whenever he lost a Mihawk.
Yeah, just fully remembering. I got my ass kicked. Yep.
Well,
So
to answer Data, I guess I shall recap what all we did from the time that he disappeared to the time we found him, which is we went to Pyrite. We almost died several times because Iris was an idiot. Zor facilitated him, and Maggie thought it would be funny.
To be fair, the earthquake wouldn't have happened if a cannon wasn't shot into the side of the mountain.
The cannon was just a means to do it.
No. Iris was trying to climb up the side of Pyrite, and everything was fine. Until...
And then Maggie fired dummy at it.
see, I think some misrememberings are occurring here. I seem to
No.
recall Iris requesting the cannon to be fired.
He wanted the cannon to be fired at a specific spot to create like a little hole. But what happened was, so Iris was trying to Iris, like, I can't remember what he was trying to do. I think he was trying to shoot something to amplify something, but I think I rolled a nat 1, so he hit the mountain. And then we
That
said, well,
sounds
I
about
guess
right.
if it amplified whatever, it would just amplify just the mountain itself, so the mountain started shaking. And then I think that dropped a rock, so I was like, oh yeah, shoot a cannon at the rock that is falling. But instead what happened was, because Iris was falling because of the shaking of the mountain, but Iris was like, oh, I can just freeze the water below me, so I'll be fine. But they shot a cannon at the mountain anyway, which caused... that combined with the shaking caused like the little overhang to fall.
We have made a lot of bad choices. I'm happy about all of them.
Some of them were completely on purpose just because people thought it would be funny.
And it was.
And it was funny. But it gave me heart attacks.
Okay, so, no, sorry, you were in the middle of giving the recap.
So yeah,
data.
let's see, we found Pyrite, we got to the one fucking harbor they had, which wasn't even a harbor, it was more of just a lift. And then we found an old man. That old man was insane. He tried running the entire town by himself. We got some mine carts, and we used the mine carts to make a train and went all around the island. basically recruiting people and purchasing all of their goods in exchange for Maggie's explosives. Which then we found a bandit tower, knocked out the dude there, found Wave. Went back to went to a town where we got this cool glove that allowed us to manipulate the town that was made of carbon. It was very strange, but it worked. And then we took that entire town and climbed it up the mountain that the castle was on.
We did do that.
And we took care of the king, who I thought was Novichok. No, instead he was just a worthless figurehead that thought Novichok was a good person. No. Jimmy got gooed.
I did get gooed. Google. Good times.
We recruited a Doom guy over there, who Doom guy.
Oh yeah, yeah. I guess.
Yeah, Doom guy just like waves.
With his shotgun.
Yeah, just.
Can't forget about Doom guy.
The most important member of the crew.
He doesn't even have a fucking role. Oh
He's
god!
Doom guy.
I didn't
Doom guy.
give him a role. He's on our NPC. He's on our fucking.
His role is Doom Guy. What do you not understand about this?
Look, like his job is Doom guy, and his class is Doom guy.
Doom guy.
Occupation Doom guy.
I need a fucking. Oh god.
His prestige that he's aiming for is Doom guy.
Doom guy. Yes.
He's multi-classing in Doom guy.
Yeah. Although, I talked to him after last session, and with your permission, Bardic, he said that he would like to swap his class over to Doom Guy.
I mean, it's a little tricky. Gonna have to come up with like some in-game justification for it, but I think it is possible.
Okay.
But he was a Kingsguard, and Pyrite that Iris fucked with his loyalties, and now he's full on Marino, and we can't change it back.
I don't think Iris didn't fuck with his loyalties. He just amplified like his doubt in what he was doing.
You did something.
Oh, in the king.
Yeah,
But
it was
he
like he was doubting the king and was like, "Oh, you guys seem to be like the actual good ones," and Iris was just like, "Yeah, let's amplify that."
Yeah.
I think what you actually did is you amplified his Doom guy.
Yeah, you're right. Ah, shit, I was misremembering. That
Yeah,
is what I
there you
did.
go.
But yeah, so Data's gonna like, the ship's moving in a direction right now, right?
Yeah, Wave has taken the helm and doing the pointing and navigating.
Yeah.
And the ship is moving. Yeah, it seems that the logboat has locks on somewhere. Obviously, none of you really have a sense of direction, but you are moving.
Data's like, an entire cavern full of devil fruits that's under marine control currently.
Technically, but also he's not letting Maggie's not letting anyone touch it ever.
Yeah,
Not even herself.
that's all well and good, but
We're leaving it out of the report.
that's not what I'm worried about. Well, I hope Maggie can handle it. If Cypherpole gets wind of this, it would be bad for all of us.
We don't know anything. All we know is Maggie is there. That's where she decided to stay.
I literally wasn't there, so...
Yep.
Not my problem.
Not my problem.
Okay. So, Merc, you just raised an interesting thing there, talking about the report.
I have to write it.
Yeah. How are you gonna start that? Are you just gonna sit down and take full control, or are you gonna call a meeting and be like, all right, everyone, we need to like agree Because if this report gets questioned, we all need to know what we're saying. We don't have Maggie to navigate the red tape anymore.
I mean, Merc's not a liar, but he does omit the truth quite often. So, nothing. I mean, he's not gonna lie in the report. Everything
He
is gonna
doesn't
be,
lie. He manipulates certain truths to keep things hidden.
basically.
You calling me a liar? I ain't calling you a truther.
Essentially, like the in regards to the Maggie situation, he's just gonna say like when time came to leave, Maggie had decided that she was not leaving with us. She was staying on the island because that's where she decided to be, and it is not
You
in
could also
my.
just easily say she chose to stay, and so we discharged her from our group, so she's no longer a Marine, so they can't like say she went rogue.
She retired. She
Yeah.
didn't re-enlist. She got out. Whatever the fuck you want to.
Yeah, there you go.
She's sleeping with the fishes. No, not that.
No.
She entered her retirement and she's living on the island because she likes explosives and enjoys making stuff like that, and that island is perfect for it.
The island really was a perfect Maggie Island.
It's full of explosives, and plenty of open space to do it in.
I suppose. What if we just tell them Maggie died?
Well, because we don't know Maggie died.
Well, we could simply say that we don't know if Maggie died.
So you're suggesting writing presumed dead? Or, like, missing in action? Or...
Maggie's too smart for us for that. No one would believe it.
Are you sure? We just entered the Grand Line about a week or two ago.
And Maggie was the scariest member of our crew.
And she was also, according to your story, in combat with a Logia. And last time I checked, she doesn't know any hockey.
She probably the phosphorus. There was like cold explosive phosphorus on that island. Cold beats fire.
That's not how that works, but
That's how it did work. That and also like the black phosphorus that absorbed his heat and then returned it back to him 10 times over. Exploding him.
my point is, it would be very believable that Maggie died in...
Do you want to do the paperwork, Data? If you want to do the paperwork, by all means, you write the story however you want. But remember,
You know what?
you weren't there.
You know what? I
And
wasn't
think
there.
that's more suspicious than.
This is all you.
If
There
I
you go.
write the report, it's going to end up like Oingo Boingo.
I mean, so that's something as well very interesting. How do you handle in the report that 2 of your crew members just abandoned their post and disappeared? Like,
Recon. Easy clap. We did recon.
Merc, is that what
Uh-huh.
is that what you're
They-
stating? You know, that you ordered them to scout
I
ahead?
didn't order them, but I mean, I've on many occasions I have said Data is able to make his own decisions.
Okay.
And Chum being Chum, I can't exactly control Chum. His contract is written as such.
He was supervised.
We'll just say Chum's an intern, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of does what he wants. So long as he doesn't hurt anyone, it's fine.
Is there any point in which like captains need to like review all their paperwork?
What do you mean?
Like,
Maybe
is
to
there a
get
time
audited or
where he has
something.
to review what's gone down, make sure he has everything in order, and then he rereads the contract? Like, wait a fucking second.
I would
Yeah.
suppose if for whatever reason your crew got audited, or was like flagged up for some kind of company review, but that would have to come directly from a higher up, or an inquiry would have to be filed for some reason.
Hmm.
If someone somewhere either reported you and it was a convincing enough case, or someone higher up really wanted to like fuck with you. But I don't think that would happen.
I don't think it would happen unless Chum fucked around too much and they're like, let me see that contract.
Which is what happened at one point. Because it was just like, no, Chum, you're not a pirate anymore. Look, according to this, you're a... God damn it, you're a pirate and a marine.
Yeah, but if they make you check it without Chum around.
Yeah. It'll actually be the contract.
There is a whole lot of nonsense that is occurring right now. So I assume that filing this paperwork takes a very long time. I would assume from where the fight ended, you failed a good. Well, at least the night has fallen. It's past. You can rest up. You can sleep. And we can get started on the next day. I don't know how much paperwork gets done on one day and how much on another. We can say like a day has passed while all this is going on. Very quick fire round. What would people like to have done during like the evening time? So overnight, essentially. Sleep, play with your zombie. I don't know. So quick fire round. Data, what did you do at nighttime?
Slept mostly.
Can you?
Data hasn't slept in like a week.
Yeah, good sleep. Nice.
Do you want some tea? You want some better tea?
You already gave it to him. That's how he's asleep.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Sorry, I'm very proud of my better tea.
It's good tea. James, what's Jimmy doing over the overnight? What's Jimmy doing?
Jimmy is going to Frankie and asking if he's come across any material that might be flexible but also durable enough to withstand my acid.
Frankie stops and ponders and thinks and goes, "What? Have you heard of this? Oh, pretty cool metal called Wapple metal."
I have not.
Wample?
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty high value. It's pretty expensive, but it's very malleable metal. It can be molded into any shape without losing its durability.
All right.
It
So
originally
you're
comes
just
from
gonna
the evil Black Drum Kingdom.
Oh, fuck.
Oh.
Fuck.
Hmm.
Fuck.
I'm sorry, the what kingdom?
The evil Black
Bardic's
Drum
just
Kingdom.
like, time to implement story.
Say the Black Drum?
The evil Black Drum Kingdom. That is its full
Evil.
official name.
Okay. I don't... This is a new thing? Or is
Uh,
this something I should know? Because people are going, fuck.
Okay, so Nick, you don't really know much about One Piece.
Not this far into it, no. I
So-
stopped pretty much around Alabasta starting.
So
This was after Alabasta.
this is Drum Kingdom is before Alabasta. Drum Kingdom is where Chopper is from, right? And that island was called Drum Kingdom, and it had the king Wapple. After Luffy, Gomu Gomu no Bazooka Wapple off the side of a mountain, Wapple flew across the Grand Line and eventually crashed down in this abandoned, desolate island, where what Wapple decided to do is just eat everything. He then realized, well, after he's eaten everything, he could make stuff with the stuff he ate. And so he made toys. And he used that and started selling toys and different bits and bobs to make a shit ton of money and establish this island he lives on as the evil Black Drum Kingdom. And he makes most of his money by selling Wapple metal created from Wapple eating stuff, and pulling it out, and it is this super flexible metal. And yeah,
Interesting.
that is a thing that is canon in the story, and to such an extent where Wapple gains enough money and notoriety that the evil Black Drum Kingdom is recognized by the world government. It is officially a member state. And has
That's why I'm
been, in our game
saying,
for over 100 years. So it's pretty well established, probably.
Interesting.
One Piece is a weird fucking story.
Well, yeah, but apparently it's non-fiction in this world.
It
It's
is not.
non-fictitious. It's non-fictitious in this fictitious world.
So, yeah, that's why people are going, oh, fuck. Just realizing that exists. And so somewhere out there, there is a descendant of Wapple who is technically still a king. Or queen. Or monarch. Maybe emperor. Empress. Maybe the Black Drum Kingdom has taken control of multiple islands. Who knows?
Maybe he's not an emperor or a king. Maybe he's a fucking president. Or a dictator.
All of
Probably
these
Dictator
that's
seems more fitting.
all of these options. So maybe there is Wapple the Fourth.
Or he went full religious and now he's the Pope.
Yeah. Created what the fucking word?
All
A
praise.
nation ruled by a religion.
Wapple.
Yeah,
Theocracy.
that's one. I was like the something. So yeah. Priest Wapple the Fourth.
And his son, the Cardinal, he's actually a superhero. That just goes by. He wears a red suit. He's got the screech fruit.
What is it? What is?
He just goes
Yes.
caw. That's all his fruit can do right now because he hasn't trained it very well.
It just goes caw.
But it's very loud.
It's very loud. Although,
Did
It's
I just come up with a villain for Data
I
to
mean,
fight later?
so here's the thing. Is that the greater or lesser version of Manowar's Wub Wub fruit?
What are we talking about?
Well, instead of being low pitched like Wub Wub was, where it's like a bass, like very low hertz, it's the very high hertz. It's like the same thing but very high pitch.
Wait, that's already Bardic.
Yeah.
Bardic, check the Discord. Look in the channel. The thing. Remember the thing.
I remember. Yeah. So okay. So no, you can't have the Scream fruit. Someone already has that. Unless the Scream fruit is just a variation of that. Maybe the Scream fruit doesn't make you scream. Maybe you can make other people scream. Or maybe you can make
ice cream.
objects scream.
God.
So it's kind of, like, imagine if it's kind of like Magic Mouth from 3.5, where you just like slap a mouth on things and then communicate through it.
I think the scream fruit would like let you. It would be like it would be fear related. Like you make people afraid.
I would love it if we came across them like, hey, would you like some ice cream? And just drops ice in your hand that's screaming. Just, I fucking hate you.
I mean, you know what? I
You want
love
some
the
scream
idea
cheese?
of a fruit out there that essentially instills fear into something. Like something or someone making it scream.
Yeah.
And that includes objects.
Yeah.
They don't come alive, they just scream.
It's the fright fruit. That's what it is.
Yeah, it just like throws a rock at you that's screaming like, "Ah!"
It's whatever Japanese word has two syllables. That's what its name is. Because that's how devil fruits are named. It has to be vaguely related to its ability, and it has to have two syllables.
It's a whole lot of stuff, yeah.
It'll be the GK.
You know that sounds
What's
about
that?
Bless
Right.
you.
Yeah, perfect, actually.
So, anyhow, we've gotten distracted yet again, which is very convenient because I don't really have plot figured out currently.
It's okay. We'll just keep doing this.
So
Just a
Jimmy,
bunch of little tangents. Yes.
nighttime. What are you doing during the evening / overnight? Or did
I-
you already say, and I'm done?
Yeah, that's how we started on the Wapple. I'm
Yes,
learning
you-
about Wapple metal.
So you went and asked Frankie about this stuff, and Frankie's like, yeah, well, you heard of Wapple metal? It was really durable, flexible metal. It's really cool. The Marines get some access to it, but not an excessive amount. It's in high demand. The evil Black Drum Kingdom gets a lot of support, so we could go and we could put in an order for some and maybe get some delivered, but we'd probably have to like raise some funds or produce a script of like request, and it'd get reviewed, and it'd go through some paperwork, and then it'd go to Gary, and Gary would sign off, and
Fucking Gary.
don't give Gary a hard time. Gary worked real hard. No one wants to do that paperwork, but Gary does it.
Nobody wants to do the paperwork.
So yeah, we could probably get a hold of some Wapple metal for you. It might take some time, and we'd have to come up with a really, really good argument. What do you need it for?
I'm just wanting to create this weapon that could utilize my acid. However, anytime I do, it kind of dissolves the weapon around it.
Yeah, I see why that would be a thing. I mean, have you tried glass? Because glass is resistant to most acid.
Yeah, but I need it to be malleable.
True. Glass is not known for being super malleable. Okay. Well, I'll dig out the paperwork. It's filed somewhere. In fact, you know what? We'll go and we can go chat to Merc and see if we can get access to a filing cabinet or something. We'll try and dig it out, and we'll see if what we can do about it. How's that sound?
Access to
I
the
think he'll be
filing
more okay
cabinet?
with that than the hand thing, so yeah.
The hint thing?
Don't worry about it.
I feel I should be worried about it.
If you could fill out that paperwork, that'd be great. Alright, good night.
I'm not filling it out, boy. You just walked off.
I just leave.
Okay. So that's that little scene there. Zor, evening time, nighttime. What is Zor doing aside from sleeping and going? "Ugh, I'm tired."
Actually, he's just kind of doing like physical training. Like, if anyone ever looked in his room, he's got this like wooden dummy now that he has set up, but it's set specifically to like those ones like you saw in like Kung Fu Panda, where it's like you hit it and it spins.
Mm-hmm.
That's
He's
what's...
got-
Sorry.
He's got something like that, and he's doing it specifically of like trying to basically dodge blows.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Mark's doing tonight. After he saw Jimmy, he's like, what other secrets are you bastards hiding?
Going into everybody's
Room check.
room.
Yeah.
Shakedown!
Oh my god, please. You know what, Merc? I would 100% be down if you like went, no, alright, I'm gonna be an actual fucking captain here. Quarters check. Everyone outside your room, line up. Let's find out what the fuck you were all doing.
Let's figure this out. Let's time for everybody to point out what's in your room, because we haven't really
Oh, God.
gone over that.
I'm just
Except
gonna
for
let it be
Maggie's
known.
room.
Zor's not gonna hear this because he's just gonna be like in such a zone. He just tunes everything else out.
I mean,
We're gonna go up the list, alright? We're gonna
Drop
start
kick
with
the
the
board down.
NPCs.
I was gonna say, usually, in my vague experience with military interaction, don't we normally do this kind of stuff like stupid early in the morning just to piss everyone off?
Yeah, but
So that could be
I'm
how we
also
start the
not.
next
I'm
day.
not a douche.
Does anyone really want to wake up Data when he slept for the first time in 7 days?
Wake up, Data, and end up halfway across the ship.
You know, we're gonna start with Data. All right, forget what I said earlier. We're gonna work our way down. We're gonna start with Data so as he can go to sleep. After the room check.
That's what you give him the T's after the room check.
Okay, so midnight room checks. Look,
Okay.
how does this begin? Are you just like literally bashing on people's door and going one by one? Or are you getting everyone up and lining them up?
I'm gonna do this calm because that's Mark. Mark is not the fucking tyrant captain, marine drill sergeant bullshit.
Are you gonna check my room considering you just checked it literally like 10 minutes ago?
Yes.
Later, yes. But first, we're gonna go to Data. I'm gonna knock on the door after just talking to him for a bit, and then gave him tea, and then was just like, I know you're gonna go to sleep here soon, but I need to get this done. I need to see what other hells are in my ship.
All right, Data. Tell us your room.
Data will. Okay, so when you walk into Data's room, there's really not much. When you look in, everything
Brian, can you
is.
put us on a blank map real fast?
Yeah. I think I have a map of the ship. Also, can I just take this opportunity while we're having a little pause of all of this? For some reason, the Twitch chat thinks Gary, like with a capital G, is a mean word.
Gary?
Oh my god, it did.
And also, can we give a little shout out to the viewer whose name I've already forgotten because I'm not looking at it right this second. F8BNDR. Hey, how's it
Bender.
going?
Fate Bender.
That's actually a pretty smart name. There we go. Smart. Big brain.
Draw shape.
Alright,
Alright, we're gonna be working up here.
Delete the leg. Deleted Merc as well. We'll be fine.
It's fine. Okay, there's those, and then we're just gonna take that, copy it, and paste it. Does that work? Nope, that didn't work. Oh god. And now I can't grab it. Oh god, okay. Put that back, and then we're just gonna make another one. Fine. There. That's our ship with our rooms. And all right, Data, you can draw in whatever square your room is.
Oh boy. Okay. Hold on.
You can put furniture and shit.
Each one of these is
a room.
It's so small.
It's a 20 by 20.
It's kind of what you'd expect from a cabin.
Oh wait, a 20 by 20. Are we on the right map?
This is a map, yeah.
In the top right, you see all these squares I've made?
Okay. Alright.
And then there's a hallway in the middle.
So which one's Data's room?
Pick one, I
This
guess.
is your time to choose.
Data would probably be here.
We'll say the stairs is like just like right here.
Yeah. Alright, so Data's room would be right here. Like,
Where's here?
here. Would be
Okay.
this one.
You can just draw in your own color, so as we know whose room is what.
Gotcha. Well, it's gonna be impossible to see because of this background.
It won't be that bad. You're purple. See?
Alright, so there's that. That's his bed. He has a desk that is pushed up against. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
That's pushed up against this
It's
wall.
gonna be real bright on people's eyes.
I've
Sorry.
been blinded.
Ah!
This is why we don't use light mode in Discord.
He's got a chair here.
Discord has a light mode?
Yeah, it does. Don't
Ew.
subject yourself to it.
Ew.
That bed is
I'll
be
not-
back.
I'm lying. I'm going back to YouTube.
Woo.
There we go. That's a bed. All right, that's his bed. This is his desk. He has on his desk. You can see like a bunch of paperwork.
Mhm.
Drawing everything in the same color is going to make this confusing.
I don't think you need to draw on the paperwork. I think you can assume that yeah, it's a desk. It has desk stuff on it.
Yeah. If you look, you can see an organized list of bounty posters, ones that have yet to be completed and ones that are completed.
Got a lot of them, I bet.
Yes, he has paperwork for potential bounty propositions.
Mm-hmm.
So, like for instance, it was like if X person escapes for whatever reason, you should probably raise his bounty to this because when I fought him, he was significantly stronger than his bounty let on. Like notes on that, notes on why, notes on all the people that he's ever arrested, what their general temperament was, likelihood of escaping, and what to do if they do. All of that's listed. All of that paperwork like that is on his desk.
Procedures for containment breach.
Yeah. It's like basically like SCP Foundation files, but for every pirate he's ever encountered. In his drawer, he has all of his manacles.
Mm-hmm.
I would assume he has like a closet and it's filled with marine uniforms, and one set of clothing that is not marine uniforms.
What does your one non-marine outfit look like? I've only ever known Day to be in marine outfit.
Yeah, that's all he wears generally. But he does have one outfit.
What is it?
It's just like a pair of, I don't want to say exactly. They're not jeans. It's like a rough. It's like the same material, same like military material, but it's all black. Oh, you know what? You would know this reference. It looks similar to something that a Cypherpol agent would wear, but
Oh, the black suit.
yeah, the pants and the shoes look like that, but his shirt is just like kind of like it's like a leather jacket.
Is this foreshadowing that Data is a member of Cypherpol?
And he does not have a hat for this outfit. He also has hanging up along the wall. He has like, it looks kind of like a necklace, the small little emblem on the end, but nobody would recognize that. Let's see, is there anything else in here? Other than that, there's a mirror, and that's about it.
What's with the CP outfit?
What are you talking about? Oh, yeah, that's just when I got taken to the academy, it was, didn't exactly have family there, so, and, well, my island was burned to the ground, and it's not like the pirates that kidnapped me let me take any clothes, so, every now and again, Amuro Shiro would bring me some hand-me-downs.
You're really connected to this admiral, aren't you?
Well, I mean, he did literally save my life, so... It's not like anyone could survive falling from a sky island.
No one's ever done that before.
Lord did.
No one's ever done it, and we're two of the people that's done it on my crew.
Are you sure he did? Do you know how high a sky island is?
It's fine.
He's fine. He's a
Have you
non-devil
seen-
fruit user, so he's
It's-
fine.
Have you
It's at
seen the
least two.
beating
Why do
Zor has
you
taken?
think he? Why do you think he's just the muscle-bound meathead?
He hit his head when he was a child on the ocean.
Yeah, man. I'm like jacked, so I can fall from 10,000 miles in the air and be okay.
You'll be fine. You know, look, if Kaido can do it, it's not that hard, right? You know.
Yeah. What? Kaido's just like an entry level fighter, right?
Yeah, he's just like
Well, I'm
a
not
guy.
saying it was a smooth fall.
Fucking
I mean,
marine
he
fire.
did bounce off a few things before he landed on the ground.
All right. All right. Let's see. No, wrong one. Who's Data's good. Who's next?
Wait, what is this check for? Is this just routine?
Sort of, and also just because I realize I haven't done it in the whole time we've been on this ship. I've just kind of let people beat them.
I thought I
wanna know
could
if other
trust my
shit has been hiding.
crewmates, but apparently,
Fair
looked over
enough.
at Jimmy's
Alright.
room.
Speaking of, Jimmy, you're next.
I'm next.
Yeah, we're going
Oh.
down the order of command.
Data steps outside. It's like, never. I was gonna go to sleep, but I have to see this.
Look, this is
And
my
also,
one
yes.
chance to peek in everyone's room. I might be cool and collected and disinterested from things, but I get to snoop? Fuck yeah!
Also, yes, Jimmy is the second officer.
I was
If
about
Merc-
to say.
If Merc goes
surprising.
down and then Data also goes down, Jimmy's next in line.
Speaking of which, Captain, I would like to review that.
The order of command.
I think, in light of recent, is the zombie anywhere in the area currently?
The zombie, because it was making too much noise, I shoved it in my closet in my room. And my room is in the very back. It's like over here. So, it's nowhere near you.
Ah, okay. It's like
Alright.
the zombie that,
So let's go knock on Jimmy's door.
which I guess doesn't smell bad anymore.
Oh, it still
it
smells
smell-
bad.
It smells like death. It doesn't smell like skunk.
Oh,
Alright, Jimmy, explain your room to us and any other secrets you may have.
I've never
in your
drawn
room.
shapes before, so this is going to be interesting.
I assume Merc is prepared and has put on a gas mask for this one.
Alright, so my bed's over here. It has springs poking out of it. It is broken as hell.
It's corroded.
Okay, so I need to ask: is it broken because of acid, or like does Jimmy sometimes just like get his claws out and like while he's asleep just like does the whole like cat or
He does the
animal
cat
thing,
kneading
like,
thing?
if it's
There's signs
skunk
of
claws
both.
out.
I just like to imagine more Data doesn't need gas mask. There's just tiny little under his nostrils blowing the scent away.
There is a closet right here, which you can hear muffled crying.
Where's here? There.
what? Okay.
That's
Is it
where
a closet or a wardrobe?
Hot Zom is. More of a wardrobe, I guess.
What?
Lion the witch and the dastardly this bitch.
Data will turn. It's like, did you shove the zombie in the closet?
Where else am I gonna put it?
Wait, did you let the zombie keep the ability to feel emotions?
It's not so much I let it, it's that I don't know how to remove it yet. Yet. It's a work in progress.
Uh-huh.
In regards to your question, Data, of like why Jimmy is next in line, it's because it was Maggie, but Maggie's gone, and Jimmy is, while being a coward and can sometimes be stupid, he is pretty smart and powerful, given the right.
Well, that's not the problem.
What about Wave?
He's
My,
enlisted.
yeah.
He just joined the crew. He's a fresh Marine. He can't be in a position of power.
There is
He will fix
my
that.
desk over here, but it is broken and hasn't been used.
Oh my god.
Wait, it's broken?
It's broken.
How long has it been broken?
How long have I had Hot Zom trapped in here?
Couple weeks.
Yeah. So also, sorry, Jimmy, I'm gonna have to ask you to essentially start all that again. I'm not, although
Oh.
Actually,
Did the recording glitch?
yeah, so apparently I am big dum-dum, and I forgot to, like, clear extra space on my hard drive, so the recording just kind of glitched out. What I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to download the VOD and work that as the edit from this, because...
I can repeat it. I only placed 3 things.
I mean, don't fret, because I also don't know if the recording I have thus far will work, because I assume if there was a glitch, it means that whole thing's corrupted now, probably.
Alright.
So, yeah, ignore me. Ignore me. I'll work on stuff in the background.
Yeah. He kind of tried to sit down on the desk and it just... Yeah. There is a chest right here. I would advise you for your mental health not to look inside it.
I have to look inside it, you know that.
Alright. You open it up, and it's just a bunch of rotting hands that you see acid burnt through.
How many hands have you got, and from where?
You know how many people died in the battles we've been to? They're not using them.
How
Oh
many
my
people
God.
have died? As
He's
far as I'm
fucking-
aware, I haven't killed
fucking
anyone
killed
yet.
everyone.
Killed
Not
anybody.
us. Not just us.
Are these the
enemy
remains of
recruited.
the fucking Naga and the other guys, the explosives? Like that's
Jim, am I hearing that you've been taking body parts from from pirate victims?
So,
In-
pirates.
I didn't lob them off. If they were just off already,
you just pick
no
them
one
up
was
off
gonna
the ground.
notice. Yeah.
Oh my god.
He's fucking Kotosuchi.
Data
Oh,
is going to hold
God.
up finger. One moment. He's gonna walk out,
James, are you just becoming the mad scientist?
and then he's gonna come
It
back,
already was.
and it says, "Morality for super morons."
Look,
There we go.
Look,
This one, clearly I was mistaken.
look, you remember when I made Doctor? He's supposed to be like the exact same almost as Jimmy.
Dr. Doctor's gonna meet Jimmy and go, "You're a monster!"
Yes.
Look, I'm
He's
waiting
gonna
for when
flip-
Jimmy goes out for a picnic with one of his hands. Goes full Yoshikage Kira.
Let me just
No.
flip, to page 2. Do you see this right here? Do you see this right here? It says right here in big bold letters. There's a whole 3 chapters on not defiling the dead. Here
What
you
would
go.
What would you classify as the dead? The majority of the corpse, or just one hand?
Oh
It's-
my. Okay, we have to question Jimmy being second in command now, third in command.
Do you understand what I'm saying, Captain? Right?
Look. Okay, so the NPCs I don't have actually in the list. It's only for the player characters. And do you really want Zor in third command?
I'll take it.
No.
See, now, you need to make sure that at least one of Merc or Data never drops. Like,
Oh,
one
God.
of you needs to be around at all times. You can never
Why
let
do you think
Jimmy...
I was so worried about Pyrite? I was like, where the fuck is Data? At least there we had Maggie, but Maggie...
You want to know something? You could theoretically make me and Zor co-in charge, so that way
I
I'm the
think that would be
intelligence.
worse.
Yeah, that would definitely be worse. Data will then turn to the captain.
Wave is still
Put a
player
hand
character,
on,
so I may hop
Merc's
into it from time to
shoulder
time, just
and
so
say-
you know.
Your hand or a hand from the chest?
I couldn't tell what the hell anyone was saying, because you had 3 people talking at once.
Data's putting his hand on Merc's shoulder, and he's just gonna say, he's gonna like float up a little bit, because Merc is tall.
Tall.
And he's gonna say, "I am so sorry for leaving you with them alone."
Thank you. Please don't do it again.
I am just going to point out, Data, before you disappeared for an arc, Jimmy was normal.
No,
This is
no, he
how-
wasn't.
But, you know, he was more normal. He was less this. So
That's only because he didn't have Hot Zom yet.
The logical conclusion you could probably deduce, Data, is either you hadn't clocked on that Jimmy was like unstable, or in the time you weren't here, Jimmy became unstable.
Oh god.
The most significant difference is early on in the series, I was depressed and cynical, and I have chilled up significantly.
Because your
in the past few
childhood
sessions.
bully has been killed and now is working for you as a zombie.
You know, some
Almost
people,
working. There's still some kinks I need to work out.
so you know,
I'm just
some
gonna
people,
throw this to you, Nick. Wave is still technically a player character because I may hop into him from time to time.
Oh,
just
I know.
So you know.
I know. That's what I mean. He's below.
he is still the new guy.
I'm
So-
just giving you the info of another intelligent person you have an option of.
No. What the?
Rin?
Ren.
We can hear your eyes from across the room.
I thought that was like James decided I'm gonna like go full in character and start banging
Yeah.
pots and pans around to go, and this is my messy fucking room.
Is there anything else in here?
Yes. There was
Oh
a
my
basket
God.
here filled with misshaped bones.
What the fuck do you have bones for?
What?
I'm trying. You saw how many bones were sticking out of him whenever you came in here. Trying to find the right size.
How are we gonna explain this to headquarters?
We're not.
We're just gonna like paint over Jimmy's door, pretend this room
What?
doesn't exist.
Well, whenever I do this thing of like checking rooms, I'm just gonna say if they ever asked me, "Did you ever check his room?" Nope, it smelled too bad. I wasn't going near it.
knowing all like superiors, they'd be like, "Oh, understandable.
Wait,
Smells like shit."
hold on. No, you know what? Never mind.
All right.
You sure?
Bones and hands and okay. What? Anything
That-
else in here, Jimmy?
That's it. Unless you want to take out Hot Zom and take a look at him.
Is there anything else in that closet?
Shirt I never wore.
Probably what's left of a shirt he never wore.
I feel like it's being eaten by a hot zombie.
You can open it up and check if you don't believe me.
No, I don't want to look at the zombie
Open-
again.
Open
Okay.
door.
Right. Well, okay, this is an experience. Remind me to get you a new bed and desk next time we're somewhere that we can
Can
Yes,
you
Captain.
find a way to make it not smell like there's a dead body on board?
I was looking for like air freshener stuff. I do believe it'll smell better now that you know about Hot Zom. I can dispose of the hands without trying to be secretive about it. That's a huge portion of why it smells.
So
You could also try some of my like salves and medicines to see if that'd help.
obviously there are chemicals
You
you
have
can
them on
use to
you?
preserve dead bodies, so you could do that. The other thing for directly dealing with the smell is there are dials that hold smell. So you could just get them, collect all the smell in the room, and then like it's essentially like going and emptying out a chemical toilet. Like you just go and do that. So just go to the back of a boat and just unleash this foul smell whenever the dial fills up.
Preferably not into the ocean, because then we may end up a mutated fish.
But yeah.
Or a sea king on our ass.
Then I have a new
Yeah.
weapon. I just throw that at the enemies. Like, is
Oh
that
my
a snow
God.
dial?
I would also, Mark would prefer if you didn't do that, because he's kind of. It hasn't been brought up because that hasn't really been a problem, but like, he doesn't like polluting the oceans.
Is dumping a smell in the ocean polluting it?
Yes.
mean,
if it's
yes.
Jimmy smell, yes.
But it's
Considering-
like,
Not my smell. It's a corpse.
there's like tons of corpses in the ocean.
Yeah.
By way though of like, smell is particles that get into your nose and your brain perceives as a particular smell. So thus that means in order to move the smell from the room to the ocean like a chemical toilet, you're dumping those smell particles into the ocean, and that's disgusting.
I mean, I would just
Anyways.
offer a suggestion. Like, you guys do what?
You go
Yeah,
to
no,
fish.
you're fine.
You go to Fishman
dump it on
Island.
fucking island.
You go to Fishman Island, just like all the children are scarred. It just rained hands. We don't know what happened.
All right, Zor.
Hmm.
Where's your room? Knock knock. Data, you can go to bed if you want.
Yeah, I need tool.
I'm up.
This one.
That one. As you've made a tiny square.
That's the training dummy that he's whacking on. And
A tiny training dummy for a large
tiny
man.
training dummy.
Don't you forget you're large.
I do forget that. I need. How do I delete?
Just highlight it and press the delete button.
There we go.
I'm sorry, this is gonna be here. I forgot I wasn't on select, so there's a circle now.
Yeah, he's
delete it.
He's got that in the corner.
It won't let me select it and delete it. I'm selecting it.
Highlight it and then just press
I got it.
the delete key on your
okay.
keyboard.
There we go.
So, yeah.
Okay.
He's got the training dummy here in the corner.
Okay.
Along this entire wall, you just see an assortment of swords, shields, hammers.
All the things we've collected.
All the things we've collected and things he's been making over time.
Not to mention the frying pan, which I forget if that's here or if that's in the kitchen.
It's in the kitchen.
Okay.
We gave it to Granny.
Yeah, I was gonna say Graham has it, I think.
Bed's over in this corner. And then he's got a
It's a small bed for a large man.
He don't really sleep much on it as much as he just kind of flops backwards, arms and legs just hanging off it, and sleeps.
Yeah, I do love the mental image. Just Zor's fucking feet dangling off the edge here, like pressed up against. Even when he sleeps, he's practicing kicking his dummy.
He is actually.
Is he
Anything
become like a master of sleep fighting?
More like he's trying to be prepared for anything, so if someone attacks in his sleep, he could still defend himself.
God.
That's why he's also got a second dummy right here next to bed that in his sleep he's smacking and
Oh my
dodging
God.
it.
I love how so far you're the only person who hasn't made room for a desk. I don't study. I don't need a desk. In fact, what do you think the dummies are made out of?
That's actually what they are made out of.
Yeah, you made your dummies out of the desk that was in here.
And then right over here by the door is just a coat rack that has his like leather coat that you saw him wearing whenever he showed up, as well as his marine jacket. And you notice the marine jacket just has tears in it because he forgot to get a new one at the last time they were fucking in port.
Mm-hmm.
Zor so far has the closest to, like, I mean, Data's was like clean, but one could probably argue it's the room of like an obsessive person. This is like a normal person room.
Is there any secrets in here? Now is the time to divulge your room secrets.
Oh, look under the bed.
I'm looking under the bed.
Just,
You see a hidden stash. You can see a hidden stash of snacks.
Of course.
And you also notice that he may or may not have snagged a few bits of Maggie's explosives before she left that she doesn't know that he grabbed.
You better hope Maggie never finds these.
Why do you think they're buried in the snacks?
That's an accident
Right.
waiting to happen.
Alright. Next up is Wave. Dakota, you also control. So,
Yeah, I'm gonna do his in a different color though.
okay.
Ah, stop it. Thank you. I'm gonna say he has the room across from Jimmy, and he's got like
Oh
a.
no.
But on the door, you notice there's like a thin just like seal along the entire door, so no smells get in.
He has to open it to leave, though. The smells do enter.
which is why he's also got this vent that he put a hole in the side of the ship to.
Was that approved?
It was a window that he basically modified into a vent.
Okay.
And why is there just a gray square?
Yeah, what the fuck?
That was Maggie's room. Remember?
Oh, right.
It was all like
Steel.
steel, and so she basically just popped out the steel cube and brought it whenever she was done on the
So we
ship.
just have a hollow room now?
Yeah, it's
Pretty much.
pretty much.
Wave's bed is right over here. His is gonna be the most normal since he's recently new. Just got the wardrobe here. He's got his work table that stretches all along here. You see just little miscellaneous just wires and gears and shit strewn about it. And over here is a nice well-kept rack with his whip, his cannon, and a glove from Pyrite.
Lovely.
Well, actually, not the glove, the boots that he made from Pyrite to manipulate the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then along this entire wall, you just see a shelf filled with all the books, maps, everything he needs to basically navigate.
Lovely.
That's pretty cool. I dig that.
All right. One of these rooms is Chum's. Who the fuck knows? I'm just gonna.
Well, let's say it's across from Maggie's.
Yeah, we're gonna say this is Chum's room.
Yep. Uh,
Who knows
Chum's
what's
room
in
is-
there? Oh, nice eyeball, Nick.
Yeah. Oh, it's ruined. Got parasites.
There, it's Chum's room.
That's not how I imagine it.
It's Chum's room because everything is just warped.
Everything's warped to shit.
Well, you walk in and it's like the size of the whole ship,
Yeah.
and you're just like, what the?
yeah.
the TARDIS?
Chum's room is a logistical nightmare and a massive headache.
All
But
right,
also a
Bardic.
really nice like bouncy castle. Oh,
An affront to the laws of physics.
Yes. Somehow he has a window, on the front, or the window here that actually doesn't go to the side of the ship. It goes to the front.
yeah, we don't ask questions. It's too
And he's
much.
got a window on the bottom that's somehow a skylight.
All right, Bardic, it's your turn.
Oh god, everyone. Okay, so
Frankie's room.
Frankie. Frankie's room, we'll just say is this one. Yeah. Let's just pick a little color. Where's the drawing tool?
You're putting him next to Jimmy? Oh god.
What's the color that hasn't been used yet? What's a Frankie color? I think a Frankie color is this. So Frankie has put his bed as far away from Jimmy's room as he can possibly get it. He has built. He's essentially put up a partisan wall there to act as an additional barrier. Like he's created this space that is just an extra wall.
It's
to
a room within a
absorb
room.
Smell. So it's like this is here just to absorb smell. He then has. I don't like that one. I just. Yes, I can. Frankie's desk is here, and the desk is filled. Like when I say filled, it is like it's got like a bookshelf on top of it, which then has another bookshelf on top of that, just filled with Dendenmushi. Like loads of them, all with different little hats on.
Oh, I think we found our nerve center.
And that connects to everything. And then on the actual desk itself, he has a set of DJ decks, and he is constantly just like working on, like he's doodling, he's doing that, and just it is like a sound designer's like happy space. So actually, you know what? All around the room, essentially, he's got soundproofing, which he has been adjusted to be smell proofing for Jimmy's side. So that's Frankie. It's pretty basic, but like, hey, yeah, I'm Frankie.
So everyone is immune to his sound except Jimmy, who just gets full blast because it's smell-proof instead of soundproof.
Yup.
Does Frankie have any secrets?
Frankie
stuff?
Frankie has a secret compartment in the floor, and if you open it up, there is a collection of classical music.
Oh,
Lovely.
that's
Just
nice.
glad they
There is a
discovered your
violin, but
secret
Frankie
hatch.
cannot play.
All right, Smithy.
Smithy is across over your, so across from Frankie, just because that's the quickest place for me to look at. Smithy's room. There is no obvious bed. But if you ask him to present his bed, it pulls out. Like, it physically slides out like a drawer from this back corner here, and it slides out to there, and you can just like slide it in and out of the wall. Other than that, his floor has got a sheet of metal over it. There is a large work table in the middle that is what is Smithy currently working on? What was the last thing anyone asked him to work on? I don't remember.
I know. Data was having him modify, like, he was working on getting like electricity fit into Data's gloves. I know that's one of the things he was doing. Because
That
Data can
was
do
what-
fire right now, but I believe he was working on electricity.
Yeah,
so-
Wave usually spends his time with Smithy assisting and stuff like that as well. That's his
So-
like off time.
on this giant work table, and when I say giant, I mean like, well, it fills up most room, but it's like multi-layered, so it actually goes from floor to ceiling with different tiers of work table, and there's like an adjustable stool next to it that he can go up and down on. So he's working three-dimensionally here, and in between these layers, you see different things. So you'll see there's like a rifle that's being modified. You'll see there's like a glove where it's being tinkered with. You'll see there's all kinds of doodads and knickknacks and weapons and such. Most of which are fairly certain like shouldn't really be allowed. But you know, he's probably the safest person to have hold of them. And then if you inspect the walls, you notice that they all seem to have like little handholds on, like little inlays. And if you go and you grab one, you can essentially pull out every part of a wall as a drawer. And these drawers are filled with tools. So you can pull one that's like got all his blowtorches in. You pull a different one that's got all his hammers in.
Lord.
Like this is like IKEA, so everything neatly slides away.
Lovely. I'm gonna have to check every single one of those, and are any of them strange?
The strangest thing you find is one of the drawers, where if you pull it open, it is almost entirely empty. And it's quite a large drawer. It is entirely empty, except for one stuffed teddy bear. And if you look at it for more than a few seconds, Smithy gives you the, like, bluntest look. As if to say, and what?
That's cute. Closes drawer.
I like to imagine he just sleeps in that drawer. That's his bed.
Yeah, the bed that actually pulls out, no, that is that. If you go to lift it up, it pulls up and it's another work table. Smithy sleeps in a drawer with his teddy bear. And if you ask, he goes, "Yeah, that's why I sleep." That's the word. Yeah,
That's right, I forgot. His thing is that he forgets basic ass words.
yeah.
That's like his quirk. I forgot. Because we haven't actually like talked to Smithy in a while.
Well, he's not. He's been very. He's been
Busy.
clearly building this room.
Yeah.
And
Alright.
weapons.
So that is Smithy's room.
All right. Gam.
Gam. Okay. Let's.
I like to imagine her room is actually off the kitchen.
I don't know
somewhere.
if you can demand to search Gam Gam's room.
Do you go
I
and
think you
ask
must-
Gam Gam to see her
I like-
room?
I knock very lightly.
About
Gam,
to say.
gam.
The door creaks open like the tiniest amount, and for some reason, you can see the menacing kanji just like emanating out of it as like she pops her head around the corner and goes, "Yes, dearie."
I just needed to take a look at your room, see if there was anything weird in here.
Nope.
You're fine. You're fine.
She just slowly, her face changes from a nice smile to like grim and serious. Like, it's none of your business now, is it?
No.
You start walking and you start getting a
Still
headache.
It is still the happy smile. There's not even a hint of anything. Just this nice, kind old lady, just smiling, eyes half closed. You can see she's got a little nightie on, and she just goes, "No, no. Good night, dearie. I'll see you in the
Good
morning."
night.
God damn, Granny.
And just this loud. The creak is freakish. Like it's only opened a crack, but somehow, everyone's had a dealt with a creaky door, right? And so
Yeah.
Yes.
the creak that comes out of this, because you open it a little bit, and then you stop, and then there's nothing. The time it takes for her to open and close this creak, which is just enough for her head to sneak out, it's as if someone has grabbed the creakiest door possible, and as slowly as possible, opened it from closed to fully open, without stopping moving, so it doesn't stop creaking. It's this long, drawn-out, 30-second creak, despite her only moving the door for less than half a second.
You want to claim a room for her?
Yeah. Gam Gam's room. You can't see that one. Hang on. There.
Okay. Alright, and last but certainly not least is Doom Guy.
Alright, Doom Guy's room. Alright, so Doom Guy's room. Oh gosh. I just need the color.
In between Data and Chum.
Let's get that Doom Green. That's why I associate Doom Guy. Doom Guy's room. Doom Guy doesn't have a bed. Doom Guy sleeps on a beanbag chair.
Nice.
Wonderful.
So Doom Guy, that's the wrong thing. It's... Is it control to make it? Nope. It's...
To make it a circle, there's
Yeah.
a different tool. There's draw shape and then there's circle.
I thought you could click a thing and that would do it, but my brain is
Hold Alt for circle or ellipse.
Alt. That's it.
Also, I would just like to add, whenever y'all saw Zor's bed, you notice all four legs have a metal, reinforcing all four legs.
So, Doom Guy has a beanbag chair. On his wall, there is posters of, they're just this world's equivalent of gamer posters. So, they'll be referencing, comic book strips or, celebrity. So it's very much... When you think of the most stereotypical gamer you can possibly imagine, that's Doom Guy's whole setup. So, minimal furniture, but there is a pizza box that is just on the floor. You don't know how long it's been there, but it's there.
Where the hell did we get pizza? Especially.
So there is
Where did you get pizza?
You notice on the top it just has a seagull and it just says seagull pizza.
Doom Guy's like, "Oh, you're on the island a while. I just got a pizza order, man. If you'd asked, I would have ordered you some, but you weren't here, so I got a pizza. He's got pizza.
Please
box.
tell me he has a gaming console with 6 different versions of Doom. That's all. That's all he plays.
So, since I don't believe gaming consoles exist,
Training.
He
But-
plays Animal Crossing.
well, yes, clearly, but
So he has 6 versions of Doom and then all of the Animal Crossings.
So I don't know if gaming consoles could exist in the One Piece world, but there's
They could.
It's a TI Inspire.
so, but there's stuff. There's little contraptions and
It's a special altered Dendenmushi.
Yeah, it's a visual Dendemushi, which has a controller, which is actually just a different kind of. It's like a slug that has evolved to have button inputs.
I was gonna say it was a thing, and all the buttons are little tiny Dendemushi, so like you move them around, and the eyes move.
You know what? That's the whole thing. It's like it's much more akin to like an interactive board game, where they're Dendemushis, except somehow it is just the full Doom game.
Oh my gosh.
Because hey, Doom is only like a 237 megabyte game. You could run that on Dendemushis. You can run it on calculators.
Yeah, you can. That's why I said a TI Inspire. That is a calculator. You can play Pokemon on a TI Inspire.
It's all good stuff. So yeah, it's just Doom. There is a bag of okay. What is the most gamer chips? Like, because obviously it's Doritos. But what flavor of Doritos?
Nacho cheese.
I would say Cool Ranch.
Yeah, Cool Ranch, same here.
Wait,
Actually,
wait.
yeah, Cool Ranch.
Spicy nacho.
My favorite is the purples, the sweet chilies.
Yes, those are the best Doritos.
But
I
they're
wouldn't
not the
say
most
they were-
gamer.
Yeah.
The most gamer is not Cool Ranch, if we're gonna keep being
Hill,
honest with ourselves.
I'll let Google decide. Game or Doritos?
It's just gonna be plain Doritos.
I'm gonna look up images. Apparently, it's Mountain Dew flavored Doritos.
Oh god, don't.
That's what Google has decided.
Oh my god, you're
Yep.
right.
Yep, so Mountain Dew flavored Doritos, but nacho cheese flavored Mountain Dew.
Oh god.
Gross.
Actually a thing, by the way.
Yeah,
I
that is-
Equally
don't
gross.
doubt it. Yeah, so
There's no need to doubt it. It's I can show it to you.
I am sad knowing that these exist. So
Ugh.
yeah, this whole wall here,
Oh god, yep.
that is the Doom display. Then
Oh god, it gets worse.
then most important thing, pizza box on the floor.
This room looks like the freaking TMNT cave.
Yeah, just
it is.
all the bags of Doritos and Mountain Dews. And what else does Doom Guy need? Oh, yeah, and then...
Oh, he needs a special bed for his shotgun.
Yeah, so he sleeps on a beanbag chair. But over here, this whole section here, is like it's a bed, but one could equate it like, you know the kinds of people who, when they get a pet for their bed, it's kind of like designed to look like a castle or the Taj Mahal, or it's needlessly extravagant. One could argue it's almost verging on like creating a shrine. That's what it is here. It is a shrine bed for the shotgun, and the shrine bed is in the shape of the fortress from Doom.
It's wonderful. Okay, there's no one else on board other than Merc.
And obviously, Merc, you have your own separate room.
Yes, I do. It's up top. It's not down the stairs. It's on the top. But we can get to that in a bit. I suggest we take like 5 minutes because I need to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, all this game.
And Bardic, you need to look at the fucking chat.
I should do. All right. So with that, we will take a quick 5-minute break, and we'll actually try and do. I actually kind of enjoyed these things. I enjoyed these sessions. Like,
I mean, we needed a filler episode.
I enjoyed these chapters in manga. Like, one of my favorite chapters of My Hero Academia is when they just went around showing us everyone's room. I thought that was fucking bomb. I dig
Yeah,
this
that
shit.
was good.
So that's what we're doing. So we'll be back in like 5 minutes, and we'll see you there. So, all right, Wampus, One Piece, that thing. We're back. All right. So we've done all the map. We've shown everyone's rooms. We've had a really nice cool down time. So that was the last thing we do in the evening. Everyone goes to bed, or their beanbag chair. Merc, as the last person, like, you've you've gone, you've looked at everyone's bedroom. It's just you left. You go to yours. Do you want to describe what your room is like for us?
Yeah, that's what I was doing. I was go ahead and draw this while I'm here. Let's see, nope, that's not. Can't. Of course not. I don't want that. Well, alright, we'll go to the... I can't draw and talk at the same time, so I'll go through everything. So, Merc's room, being both the captain's quarters and the infirmary, is quite large.
Mm-hmm.
It's larger than your standard cabin, and then it's like it is upstairs because the door, this door here would lead out to the deck.
Mm-hmm.
But as you walk in, directly here in the center is a curtain wall.
Mm-hmm.
That he has placed between the two halves of his room, the one being his half and the other half being the infirmary, which has 3 cots in it, and then beside each cot is a little like IV stand.
Mm-hmm.
And then also on the on this wall is an assortment of potions and healing salves and all kinds of like the infirmatory stuff, bandages and things to help people not be in pain.
Yeah, magic
and or
doctor stuff.
dying. Yeah, doctor stuff. You know how it be. But on his side here, he has 3 desks.
Okay.
He has his paperwork desk, which is this one here that has a stool in front of it,
Mm-hmm.
which has some papers just kind of strewn about because he's not usually one for paperwork. That's been Maggie for the most part, but now he has to do it again because he hasn't done it in a while. And then the next one is over here, which is like a not. It's not an R&D. I guess this is okay. Ignore this one for now. This one over here actually is the R&D one, and on the wall here is a bunch of notes and blueprints and formulas and stuff he's trying to figure out to get his R&D, Merc's R&D. It's his whole feat list.
Mm-hmm.
To where he can make things and over. But then the big one over here that I totally remembered what the hell it was for is just covered in beakers and test tubes and Bunsen burners, and it's like if you look at a chemistry set when you're a child,
Mm-hmm.
that's what it is.
Yeah, cool. So that's like your science area.
That's yeah. If you ever just imagine a chemistry set, that's it. Over here is like the math section. Over here is the experiment, is like the chemical section, and then Merc's bed isn't really a bed. It's just a big mattress that's on the floor. It doesn't have a bed frame. He has one pillow.
Okay. It's practical. That makes sense. I dig that.
Then I wasn't quite done drawing. There's a couple extra stools just for use over here, along with the only secret one may say. I forgot what the hell it was. I've been thinking about it this whole time. And of course you get put on the spot and you totally forget what the hell it is. Oh, yes. Underneath the math desk is a few drawers that are just filled with instant takoyaki.
Mm-hmm.
So you can pop those in a microwave, or in Merc's case, usually on a little aluminum pan that he hovers over a Bunsen burner for a bit.
Functional and practical.
That's about it.
Now, obviously, the same thing we've been asking everyone else. Does Muck Room have any secrets?
Let me look at a thing real fast.
Aside from the murder pit.
Well, aside from the void portal that leads to the realm of Relay, he actually has a picture stowed away in one of the drawers of his desk. That is of himself, Yazora, and a few classmates of theirs in the background. And this is before Merc was maimed. Before he has the 2 extra long tentacles, arms.
You know, is there like a speech bubble drawn on it saying, "Boy howdy, I sure do love having 8 arms. I hope nothing bad ever happens to them." Look
No.
at how
That's
good
what
it
I
is to
expect.
have 8 arms.
No, but on a couple of the children's faces in the background have red circles on them.
They're all the ones who became pirates.
They're the marks, if you will.
Davis gonna look and say, Captain, I mean no disrespect when I say this, but you do understand that after the whole Jimmy event, that this is a bit concerning.
That? I've had that forever.
That doesn't help.
Look, I'd rather have a semi-crazy captain over a mad scientist running the ship. Because do you realize he'd probably start experimenting on all of us if the mad scientist took over?
No.
The captain's a doctor, to be fair.
Only if there was no way to reattach it. I'm not gonna
And
take
a
it off in your
surgeon.
sleep.
And he can make diseases. I'm starting to notice a trend, perhaps a pattern, and I'm not sure if I like it.
That
Well, I mean,
everyone on
if-
this
if-
crew is
If you want to add
capable of
to it,
horrible things.
Zor's currently designing is currently working with Smithy to get a bunch of weapons of other different elements to create a supernova-based attack.
Good lord.
We're actually
But-
not Marines at all. We're just confused pirates.
See, it turns out the Marine training ground you went to, that was all a front. Admiral Shioreon isn't Admiral, he's a fucking Yonko. This is
Oh,
all
God.
a ploy. Actually. So, one thing I just very need to quickly ask. Obviously, I know you just doodle it in later for amusement. This over here, Jimmy, your sad wall.
Yeah.
So, you remember in One Piece how
Oh.
sad is actually a chemical, right? It is a chemical compound used in the creation of artificial devil fruits.
Yes.
I have an idea.
Is that intentional?
I've come up with a new recipe.
Oh no. No, it is not. I was just saying like sad noises.
I was like, what the fuck? Jimmy just has a pylon of sad?
God no.
No, he probably, you know what? He probably does. He's just disguising it as his wall of depression.
It,
I was gonna type sad noises, but I don't have enough space.
You can use it. There is an actual text tool, you know.
it's somewhere.
Clearly I don't.
Yeah, in the drawer shape,
There's-
if you go down,
There's,
and
yeah, it's the last
the one that
option.
says-
Ah.
Text.
This is
There we go.
Jimmy's dream wall. You know, he wants to get a vat of sad. You know,
Yeah.
when he has all them devil fruits to artificially create, I guess.
Yeah, of course, for sure.
Mhm. Yep. Not
Look,
that happens when sad gets used, right?
Look, have I or have I not said Merc plans to change the world?
You
For the
have.
better, right? For the
For
better.
the better, right? Uh-oh.
Look, need I remind you, Merc's disadvantages are depression, maimed, and cynic.
Crap.
Dave's just gonna walk into his room and close the door and say, okay. I think it's bedtime. I'll see everybody in the morning.
Does Data have a
We
moment
wake
where he
up and
looks at
Data's
himself
just
and goes,
gone.
"Are we the baddies?"
Are we the bad guys? No, we just wake up and Data's just gone.
Look, we
Okay,
haven't
to
killed
HQ.
anybody
Get
except
me
for
out
one
of
guy.
here.
We killed one guy in like 2 months of service. That's like a crazy
It's
amount
not
better
about
than
what we-
any other Marine.
Nick, in my case, that's what I've done. In your case, it's what's being led up to.
What I planned.
Yeah,
So
you have red circles around people you knew. You've made a deadly virus.
Not super deadly yet.
quick question.
Yet is the thing that's concerning us.
Quick question.
Like I
Was
said, if it makes it any
Yuzora
better, I'm working to make. Like I said, I'm working to make a combination of weapons that equals basically an attack equivalent to a mini nuke.
Did I say what'd you say about Yuzora?
was Yuzora circled or no?
No. Just about 3 or 4 kids in the background.
I do not like this.
Changing the word for the better, right? And it just laughs and laughs and laughs and laughs.
See,
It's wonderful.
you'd think as GM I would know what's going on, but I fucking don't. Like, at all. So,
At least I dropped hints and I let him know beforehand with the zombie.
Well, he knows,
You know,
he knows
using the-
about mine.
see, what we were also just saying about how technically we've only killed one person. Is Hot Zom dead?
Is he dead? Technically, no. He is undead.
So, we have killed -1 people.
Well, it's like I have saved some lives being a doctor, you know.
Oh no, but that's saving a life. This is actively undeading something.
Wonderful.
So I've done a good thing.
I mean, yes, technically you killed him first, so it was +1, but then -1, so you netted out 0, which is still really good. It's pretty damn good.
See, everything that I see that I can make sense of points to me being an alright guy. But this book keeps saying I'm awful.
Data screams, "Listen to the book!"
I'm so confused. This book, like, I did this little test in the back, and it said I'm a menace to society, and I should turn myself in.
No, Data will then appear from the room and say, "In light of recent events, I have prepared just a small survey that I'd like everybody to complete."
Oh my god, please sit. Yeah, alright.
Please tell me you actually have a survey for us to complete.
Please.
Oh, I will next session.
Next
Okay,
session.
I will
Okay.
fill that out.
Or
Alright.
in fact, I'll drop it in the Discord, and then Data will review it starting next session.
I am down for that. So, Data, you give everyone the survey.
absolutely.
We'll start with that next week. Just so we do try and wrap up on time. Last
You're welcome,
thing,
Bardic, for bypassing your storytelling for our own individuals.
I am very thankful because this is really good. 'Cause this allows the boat to move. We are still moving. We can get to places and we get downtime, which is nice. I love downtime. So, the last thing we're going to do in this session, and this can take a little bit of time. It's fine if we go like over by a little bit. Just it means that we don't get distracted.
We
and keep
started
talking about
late.
Chinese. Everyone's asleep. Dreams. What are they? Who would have the least interesting dream? And we'll start with that. We'll try and work up to most interesting.
Zor. He just dreams of being a badass beating shit.
It's the beginning of Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah. Zor, just ultimate badass.
Meanwhile, his actual body, he's going to the dummies.
The people you're beating up in your dream, are they old enemies? Are they people we've seen? Is it backstory related?
One of them is
antagonists?
Merc because one of them is Merc just because he hates that Merc is stronger than him, so he's trying to figure out if he's stronger to beat him.
Technically, random factoid: every face you've ever seen in a dream has been a face you've seen before.
Oh yeah.
Because a human face is so complicated that your brain cannot create one from scratch.
No,
Lies.
Well, the thing is, you can't, like, we see human faces and we make human faces, so you might not perfectly recall a face, but you will use something you have seen before. This is why people dream of celebrities, for example, because you've seen that celebrity's face.
Yeah.
And you understand it, you recognize it. Okay, so just a quick fire list of the people in the dream, Zor, and how you kick their ass.
Well, for Merc, it's more I'm trying to beat him and it's not working, and there's just waves of what look like fishmen, but they're not fishmen anymore. They're cyborgs, so they just this generic robot heads.
Am I actually stronger than you by stat?
No.
So you're 22 strength, aren't you?
I'm at like 25.
Fucking how?
Skills.
Science!
Skills?
Skills?
Oh no, 21. 21,
Okay.
my bad.
Oh, okay.
Which is a +5 modifier. Okay, that's the same as me, which makes sense.
I have the skill. The brain is a muscle.
It converts all of my int score into.
I was gonna say also in the dream, you're like no longer you. You're just some like mad individual who just went insane, and like we're all trying to stop you. So like I'm fighting alongside Data, who currently is fighting for his life.
So it's like a nightmare of whenever the fucking puppet took over.
The thing is, I wasn't
Our
even there for the
bodies.
puppet.
He wasn't. True, that was fucking Wave. Jesus.
Yeah, Wave's having the traumatizing one.
Oh dear.
Now, at any point in this dream, is it a happy dream? Is it a... Actually, you know what? Let's roll dice, because this is a dice rolling tabletop adventure game. Do you want to roll me a... I think will save is probably the best bet. Like, you can either roll a will save, or you can just roll a flat d20, and we'll just use like a 10 or lower turns into a nightmare, 10 or higher. It's a good dream, and you can do what you like.
For all of us?
Yeah.
What do we roll? Flat d20?
Yeah,
Will
please
save.
just make it flat d20.
Oh,
Well,
flat
I roll a
D20?
nat 20.
Okay. Oh boy.
Okay,
So what does it mean if I roll a nat 20 for this dream?
this is the best mother flipping dream. You can
Okay.
essentially call it lucid dreaming. You have full control over this dream, and you are aware that you have full control of this dream.
Yeah. If anybody
Okay.
were to actually peer in after hearing all the clashing and banging of him hitting the dummies, they would just see Zora smiling.
I think Nat
He is
1 would
enjoying
cause
himself.
you to like dream thrash your room.
So
Zora is enjoying himself.
nice. What acts as the final antagonist in your dream beatdown then? Who's like the ultimate
Just a
big
shadow. There's a shadow behind everybody that I don't recognize at all.
bad? Okay. Nice. I like it. Shadowy figure, and Zor's like, I got you! And you like jump up and punch it in the face, and it goes, ah!
So that's when I wake up and my hands through the wall. Just...
Okay.
So this is why Frankie is busy every day.
Yup. Okay.
I
so
sleep fight.
that's that. Data. What's your dream?
Yes. Data. So what does an 18 mean?
18 means it is not an active, like, it's not a particularly bad nightmare. I know Data has nightmares all the time, but this is, I suppose it's a nightmare you're more accustomed to. This is not one that'll be, like, super freaking out.
Oh, so it's just a recurring nightmare. Gotcha.
I mean, obviously, even recurring nightmares have new layers added onto them, depending on what events are going on, what particular mental state you are in. So, what's going on? Like, what's the base level nightmare that would normally happen, and how is it slightly different now?
Oh, it it's just like, the day his entire family was killed in front of him.
Mm-hmm. Fun times.
Well,
they weren't. Fun times.
A la, the whole island being blown up. So here's the thing, right? So Data was kidnapped by pirates. But essentially what he does is, Data, what people don't know about Data is that he can actually he doesn't involuntarily have nightmares. Like, he could not have nightmares if he wanted to, but there's something he's, like, trying to make out.
Mm-hmm.
There's a suspicion that he has that he hasn't been able to confirm, but he thinks if he can recall the day. So it's just him being kidnapped, but since this is, like, there's usually weird stuff added onto it that, like, makes him not able to focus. But since this one seems to be relatively calm, he notices that the ships of the other pirates are, like, a little too nice.
They got like a vaguish blue hue to them.
He can't quite make out the color, but yeah, they're like he's never thought about it before.
They're in like pristine condition.
But like,
They're a little too uniform for pirate ship.
Well, it's just after he was kidnapped, the pirates never mentioned like being separated from the rest of their crew, which means that they would have been alone.
Interesting.
But that doesn't make any sense.
Because there was clearly more than one ship. One pirate ship can't come and destroy a whole island. That's a ludicrous notion. That would never happen. So there's definitely more than...
Unless they were working for some like Yonko, but he doesn't. Now that he's been given the information on all the Shichibukai, he's like, they weren't any of these.
Interesting. It's very interesting. That's something to ponder and maybe work on. We'll figure that out. Alright. So, next dream, Jimmy. How's your dream going?
Oh, it's going amazing.
Yep.
So, I dream that I'm on a battlefield, but I'm not fighting at all. Hot Zom is there.
Yeah.
First wave of enemies come, and this is all in like that horrible art style.
Oingo, yeah.
Yeah. First wave of enemies come. Hot Zom just puffs his chest and then shoots out millions of like bone arrows at them.
Oh god.
Then a tougher enemy shows up, sprays acid flawlessly all over the enemy. And then finally, a huge, powerful opponent comes, and he just rejectiles from his arm and decimates that enemy. And I'm there laughing and laughing. And then finally, Mork is there. And I just look at him, I'm like, is there something wrong? He's like, you can't have this. As his arms stretch out like Luffy's, grab my Hot Zom's arms and rip them off. I'm like, what? No! You can't have those either. Rips off every single bone from Hot Zom. No, stop!
Oh my god.
In fact, this whole thing needs to go. If you just pick it up and throw it in the ocean.
Are you sure that's not Data? Because that sounds like something Data would actually do.
Oh no.
You gave me a book, but like, clearly Mork showed incredible disdain to it. So I'm just like, no!
So,
and then I wake up in a cold sweat.
So I don't want to like take any form of narrative control over your dream, but just as something that could be amusing, there is Hot Zom's. Well, when Hot Zom was Hot Bod before being, zombie, so is Hot Jock's the thingy word girlfriend. I couldn't think of a word for girlfriend. Jesus Christ, I'm far too gay for my own. What's that thing when straight people do stuff? Ugh. So is Hot Zom's like girlfriend there? So like you're getting some like high school power fantasy, which like, "Hey Jimmy, I'm so sorry I was mean to you. That wasn't okay."
No.
And then when
that'll
Merc
probably
starts doing,
be-
I was like, "Oh, you snap!
that'll-
I hate you."
That'll probably be next dream session.
Nice.
This one is all about Hot Zom, how excited I am for his potential, and how Mark may make me get rid of him. And
Okay.
the fear that comes with that.
All right, that is pretty fun and interesting stuff. And then finally, and this will be the last thing in the session, Merc, how's your nightmare going?
All right. So this is it's not a vision, but it would take place in the future, and it's the crew. We reach Fishman Island, and we find the kids that were circled. Of course, they're adults now, just like the rest of us, and we end up just not to get graphic, but just destroying them, and Merc myself just like is laughing the whole time.
I think
And
you should be concerned.
There's viscera around, and there's like a red light on things, and these people, these fishmen are just torn apart, and it leads to Merc just waking up, breathing heavy. So he sits up and he just puts his head in 5 of his hands, and his other hand goes to a piece of paper that's on his desk that he can reach from his bed, of course, and he just he puts a blank paper and a pencil and just starts writing, "I am not evil," many times.
Going up there today.
I'm sorry.
No, I dig
Drama for
this.
one day.
I fucking dig this shit, man. This is good. Yeah.
You know what's disturbing?
This is a seinen now. Fuck it.
That kind of goes from
Don't tell me that, because I can make this a seinen if you really want me
what's
to.
disturbing is that kind of ties into how Zor's dream was of beating going after Merc.
It ties into Zor. It ties into Jimmy. Wow. Like, good, tasty stuff. Gonna get that. Gonna nom 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 nom. Enjoy all of that. All right, yeah. Let's wrap it on up for the day. Huge thank you to everybody for tuning in. Thank you to players, obviously, and all that good stuff. I am the Bardic Knox. You can find me on the internet, Twitter, Twitch, Patreon, and YouTube.
We're not doing waves?
Oh fuck! Wait. Yes. Wait. Go.
His, which that's all the role. His is mostly just reliving the nightmare of when he lost his crew,
Mhm.
and then the satisfying moment of when he hit Manowar with the freaking Newton's cradle and just crushed him.
Which is a badass attack name.
It really is.
like, and he's just reliving that satisfaction, still feeling the remorse though of losing his crew.
Still not
But
sure how he feels
satisfied
about this new
he-
one.
Satisfied that he avenged him, and then also slightly disturbed at this new one. Yes, because
Okay.
it seems so disorganized compared to what he was used to.
I like that. This is good stuff. I totally spaced on Wave because I looked at the 4 roles in front of me and went, yeah, 4 roles, 4 people,
I almost
4
forgot about
characters.
it too, but I was like, oh wait a minute, Wave's technically still a player, just not at the moment.
Also, can I just say, why
Yeah.
is Data? Why did Data end up being the most mentally sound person on the ship? That's the opposite of what I intended to happen.
Well, so, Rin, here's the thing. When you make a character who's, I don't want to say like super edgy, but when you make that kind of character, with like, okay, I've got a whole bunch of trauma, I'm going to try and figure out. Like, what normally happens is, as part of human beings trying to channel that trauma, like, there's a natural maturity that, like, and, you know, coping mechanism that comes with having high levels of trauma. So normally
Ah.
they're quite well
That's true.
functioning.
Fair
If
enough.
If the trauma
Yeah.
is controlled enough that they can function, they function really well until they don't. And I think Data is currently in that place. Like, I'm functioning really, really well until I don't.
Wave is getting there, of getting to the point of probably losing his shit because he's starting to not be able to think straight because this crew is so much crazier than the crew he works
I
with. Everyone's
will
just calm.
say, Data is not very pleased about certain recent revelations.
Mm.
Look, Jimmy has nothing wrong. Jimmy's
Well,
fine.
because the way that it's fine because it was like a progression to everyone. But as far as Data's aware, he left the crew for like 5 fucking minutes, got trapped in a time vortex for, from his perspective, like months. And when he comes back, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I might be evil."
Morality?
It's like, oh! I think it's because I've been gone for so long, but I'm noticing a lot of things that I didn't notice before.
This is taking some weird turns, and I kind of dig it. I'm happy. So with that, we're actually going to wrap up the session now that everyone's said their stuff and done their thing.
But look at it this way, at least you have Wave to talk to, Data. He's mentally sound.
That is true.
So with that,
As far as you know.
we will see you all next time. Huge thank you to everyone. Huge thank you to the players for mostly making it so I don't have to start rolling stuff and go, Sea King shows up and goes, like, nah. Instead, we looked at each other's bedrooms. Content. So, I'm the Bardic Knot, companion on internet, Twitter, Twitch page, and YouTube, all as the Bardic Knot. And, yeah, that's me. I do the streamy stuff. I'm trying to get it back on something resembling a schedule. It's slowly coming together. So, keep your eyes open, I guess. Nick, who are you?
Hi, I'm Nick, also known as Strider Winters everywhere on the internet. I'm Bardic's admin on his Discord server. Check that out. I'm his mod here on Twitch. I play in this game as Merc, the fishman who definitely does not have any issues.
I think we've learned everybody on this trip has some sort of issues.
If you want to see me elsewhere, you can catch me on alternating Thursdays on channel Undead K. I'm playing in a Curse of Strahd game over there as a Tiefling Eldritch Knight. That's it.
Dakota, who are you?
I am Zor. White Wolf, White Wolf Force 2 pretty much everywhere. I'm here every other Saturday and every Monday for our Yu-Gi-Oh! Knockoff progression, which tune in this week because it is our final era of the GX, which ought to be interesting.
It's gonna be a heck of a lot of fun. James, who are you?
I am James. I am Omen264 pretty much everywhere. And I just want to mention that the difference between me and Captain is Captain knows he has issues, but doesn't want any way of acknowledging it. I have issues, but I don't see them as issues. Everyone else
Handled
does.
into making a zombie of your childhood bully. How the fuck have you not acknowledged your own issues?
It's just a
It would
quirk.
be a waste.
He's just
And
quirky.
And it helps me cope. If anything, I'm resolving issues.
Yeah,
Everyone throws a
Yeah,
fucking
for
ruckus over it.
for sure.
You know, some people go to therapy. Some people really get into crafting. Some people, engage in
Well, I mean,
role-playing
would you
scenarios to
call
help them
him
process.
making a zombie crafting?
Yeah.
Yeah, some
So yeah, I
people
think that's
make zombies out of their childhood bullies.
the difference. Not so. Mark knows he has issues. Doesn't want any way of resolving those except through what he already has planned. I don't see them as issues.
And
I'm fixing stuff.
speaking of issues, Ren, who are you?
Want to destroy the world.
What are we saying here?
What are you implying?
I'm not saying anything. I'm making a segue. If it happens to be applicable, that's on you.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm Ren. I'll be serious this time since I haven't given an actual outro in like 3 months. I'm Ren. I play Data, who is actually a Marine. Legitimately.
As far as we know.
So.
I still don't understand how the doctor's the captain and not either of the two that have the career of Marine.
That's just for now. One of us is gonna probably overthrow your ass eventually.
Mostly because Data doesn't want to be captain, because the captain answers directly to... They have to interact very directly with the world government, and that's not a position he's comfortable being in.
And also,
So
meta knowledge.
kind of like Garp with the Celestial Dragons.
Yeah. very
Exactly like Garp with the Celestial Dragons.
And to use meta knowledge as well, back when we first started, I asked, anyone want to be captain? And this group went, he went, I'll do it. And that's it. No one else wanted to do it, and you went,
Well, I was captain in the other game, so it's just like I don't want to be captain twice.
Yeah.
I mean, in all honesty, Zor may end up trying to take the role of captain if things start going sideways.
That sounds like mutiny.
I said if things go sideways.
This.
I said what I said.
Look, I'm doing my best, man. I made a character, and you know how it goes. Characters gotta have issues. You sure as
Heck
fuck
yeah.
can't be well adjusted.
I will
Yeah,
say this:
what?
if Merc goes off the rails, Zor will put him down.
I'm normally normal, son.
You can
I'm
fucking
normal.
try.
Injects him with a new disease. I didn't tell you about this one. It severs all your nerves. I have the antidote. Should have thought about that.
Merc
I don't
goes,
think
hey,
there's any disease
remember
that will
that
actually
vaccine I gave
sever
all
the
of you?
nerves. But imagine if he freaking gives us one that just dulls our pain, so it's like,
No,
okay, rips our arm off. Oh.
No,
Oh,
not even
issues.
that. Yeah, it's like
Here,
that
Jimmy,
vaccine I gave
have a
you.
new arm.
Yes!
It did make you immune to that disease, but it made you extremely vulnerable to this one.
I do not want to feed, conspiracy theorists, especially about things that can be related to real life. But
Oh yeah,
just go
yeah.
ham. Like,
Right.
do all the batshit stuff that people think the vaccine can do. Yeah, by the way, you're all sterile and you're now communication for the alien invaders. That's what I actually gave you.
Bartek, quick question.
Yo.
Whenever I do find everything I want for Hot Zom and make his character sheet, am I allowed to equip like extra legs or extra arms than normal and
Yeah.
increase his stats with each arm I equip? Or would you
oh
rather
my
his
God.
stats remain the same?
I don't think his stats would increase with more arms. Like, they're...
What are you fucking following Moira's example of zombies?
I mean, I was thinking more forearms from Ben 10, but
4 arms.
So, having more arms wouldn't intrinsically make you stronger. It would allow you to make extra attacks more easily. So we had this discussion before talking about Mercs multiple hands. Like, there's a feat like multi-attack, whatever it is. So it's like, yeah, you have more arms, you can hit more stuff, you can carry more stuff. You can be wielding a sword, a spear, a shield, and a rubber duck all at the same time. And so you can switch. One round I'm gonna hit you with the duck.
Oh my
next
god,
round
I'm just
gonna hit you with the
imagining
shield.
you rolling that one, you punch with the rubber duck.
It goes
So-
squeak.
So you can do all this stuff. So you can
zombie.
have more arms. It wouldn't alter your stats. It might alter how you lay out your stats and what you want to do with them.
To make
Yes.
it balanced, zombie, every arm he has, he can roll a hit, but every time he, makes a nat 1, his hand just breaks. Like,
Yes.
oh!
All right, so we're gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna close this down, and we will see you all next time. So until then, everybody, stay safe and happy adventures.
Bye-bye.
Bye!
Bye.